A side note, with our recordings, if you jump onto our YouTube channel, I'll pop the link in here on the chat as well. We've got all the classes that we've run across the last couple of years, so you can check that out as well. If there's a particular topic that you want to look more into, you can check that out. So what is happening tonight is we're going to be doing 3 soups, and we're going to be talking about a few little sides as well. Soups in the Thermomix is an absolute dream. You can go from a basic pumpkin soup, or you can get quite creative and come up with some great ones as well. So Pearl just said that she made is it the borscht? Is that how you would pronounce it?
Yes.
No, yes.
Borscht.
So borscht. So she had a great experience. So it's absolutely delicious. So I've popped the cookie dough link in the chat, but definitely pop in the chat any of your favorite soups that you have from Cookie Dough. I'd love to see that as well. So tonight, what we're going to do is start with Maisie. Maisie's doing a mushroom soup, which I'll pop in the chat, and also the ultimate Brazilian cheese puff as our side. So I'll put the spotlight on Maisie.
Yep.
And it's all yours, Maisie. And
Okay.
I'll pop, yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Maisie from Bandura. Tonight I'm going to do a creamy mushroom soup, and it is nothing simpler. This recipe is just so easy and so simple, as easy as chucking in mushrooms, water, milk, seasoning, and you're good to go. So it's a really quick recipe. It's really great if you're in a hurry or you're in need of something warm. And mushroom soup tastes amazing. Like I always have fond childhood memories of having mushroom soup, and you can jazz it up any way you like. So so the recipe is on there. It's creamy mushroom soup. I think I've got it in reverse mode on the screen, but if I click on that with Cookie Dough, it's all guided. So all you need to do is click start cooking. Oh yes, there's another tip I'd like to give you. This soup recipe can actually be portioned out. So if you go to the recipe detail, right now it's set to 4 portions. If I click that, I could actually change that to 2 or 6 portions. But I'm just going to stick to 4 portions. So apply, and when you click on those portions, it will actually automatically change the
Yes. No. You keep it. You turn the sound off because I'm going to reflect it.
Sorry, I'm just muting people. Sorry, Maisie.
That's okay. All good?
Yeah, all muted. Yeah.
Okay, so very easy. I just asked for 400 grams of mushrooms. I've just got the normal button mushrooms and some flat mushrooms as well. And if you know me, I'm obsessed with mushrooms.
Yes, I've been following your mushroom adventures on your Facebook page, Maisie.
Yeah,
I'm learning so much. I didn't realize there was such a thing to mushrooms, but follow Maisie and her mushroom adventures.
yeah, mushrooms. They're really good for you. Another tip for mushrooms: if you sun them in the daylight under the sun, it actually absorbs the vitamin D, and then that's how you can boost vitamin D intake as well.
Oh, there you go. We all need that for our immunity.
So when you use a Cookie Dough recipe, the time is all preset for you. So now it's just going to blend up the mushrooms. It tells you what to do. Turn speed selector to speed 4. So that's what I'm going to do.
Cookie Dough is such an amazing part of your TM6, and we're hoping to give you some ideas tonight. Now, if you're running out of your Cookie Dough subscription, we currently have as a host reward the opportunity to get an extra year of Cookie Dough for free as if someone purchases at your demo. So if that is something you're interested in, definitely touch base with your consultant and organize that demo to get another year free of Cookie Dough. So it's a great little host reward that's up to grabs at the moment. Touch base with your consultant. Sorry, Maisie, keep going. Sorry.
So the mushrooms are all blended up. So that makes it faster to cook. So now, and as you can see, it brings up the scale function as well. So you can weigh in your ingredients into the bowl straight away. So I'm going to put 600 grams of water, as it states there. Wow, I have 550 grams, but that's okay because it asks for 500 to 600 grams of water. Click next, 200 grams of milk. I'll put slightly more than 200 grams. And you're more than welcome to use any milk of your choice. If you are avoiding dairy or you're intolerant to dairy, you can use oat milk. And there are a couple of ways to boost the flavor for that as well. Yep. And so now this next step asks for 1 heaped teaspoon of vegetable stock paste. And this is all homemade with the Thermomix, and there's a recipe for vegetable stock paste. This paste actually lives in my fridge. It is so handy. And if you have any vegetable offcuts, bits and pieces of vegetables that are, you know, looking a little bit lifeless, but they're still good, chuck them into your vegetable stock paste. So yeah, carrots, onions, garlic. I think I have zucchinis down here as well. And this is a reduced salt one. I think the original recipe asks for 150 grams of rock salt.
Yep,
but
it's 150 grams. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, I've actually reduced it to 80 grams, and it's still okay.
It's still fine.
What the salt does is it preserves prolongs the shelf life of the stock paste in your fridge. But I prefer less salty, so that's why mine's only half the amount of salt. So I can actually put in 2 tablespoons. Next, 50 grams of plain flour as to thicken up the soup. You can use gluten-free flour as well for that. And then half a teaspoon of salt. You're gonna add a pinch. Next. And then here you're going to place your simmering basket, which actually I forgot about. It's in my dishwasher, so
That's all right.
use the measuring cup. So basically, it's just to allow the heat to evaporate. Yeah, and there's vents in the measuring cup anyway. So now it's going to cook for 10 minutes at 100 degrees at speed 3.
So talk about quicker than that's it. It's talk about getting dinner on the table in no time at all. Literally 10 minutes. You can't go wrong with that. So that's why it's a great dish. Maisie's talked about the benefits of the mushrooms and stuff like that. So it's nothing, you know, better than a creamy mushroom soup. So thank you to Maisie for that. Maisie, do you want to do the Brazilian cheese puffs now, or do you want to? We'll come back to you. Once it's cooked,
back to me later when it's done, because then I'm gonna blend it up and it will be done.
Beautiful. All right, we will go to Jen then. Hang on, I'm just going to spotlight Jen. So yeah, definitely throw in your ideas for any of your favorite soups that you've made with your Thermomix. Throw it in the chat. I've put the recipes so far in the chat. So Pearl's one and Maisie's. So if there's any others that you love, definitely put it up in the chat, because we love new ideas. All righty, we are on Jen. Jen Mead is going to cook up something that is not on Cookie Dough, so something a little bit different.
That's right, it's not. So, you know, the guided cooking is a superior function of the Thermomix, but you can still use it manually, and you can, you know, you can use the recipe community. There are a lot of other places where you can load up the recipe into your Thermomix, and they're called created recipes. So I have actually loaded this one up. It's called the Flu Fighter Chicken Soup, and it's on the recipe community by the lovely Arwen Genge in Tassie. She's fabulous. But This is my new black. So as a consultant, we had a fantastic opportunity to earn the black with 4 sales. So this is my baby, but it's not yet connected to my cookie dough. So we're going to take it for a test run today. Look, it is very beautiful, very textured, very
She's
nice.
pretty. She's
You can have your
pretty.
very own. Yeah, they are available right now. So you can actually get one of these on your bench if you'd like. So the flu fighting chicken soup, it is so packed full of flavor. I just love this. My kids love this one. It's great for whether you have the flu or not, just to get it in you. Okay, so we're going to start with coriander. Like there's just the paste we're going to make is just, you see it's packed full of flavor. So I've got like a whole bunch of coriander here. And I know some people are a bit rough on it, but it's the stalks, it's everything. Put it in there. And just for 3 seconds only on speed 7, we'll just chop all of that up. Couldn't be faster, this business, you know. Can you imagine doing the whole like we used to? No, thanks.
No, thank you.
Smells, meh, same. So I'm just going to pop this aside because we're going to add this a little bit later. As with most like fresh herbs, you don't want to add them at the start. That does take, dulls their flavor a little bit. So we'll add it later on so it doesn't cook out too much. And it will retain its beautiful, vibrant color as well when we do that. So that's in there. And now we're going to make that paste I was telling you about. It's packed full of flavor. So chili and lemon and all that kind of stuff. So I've got the rind of a lemon that I obviously used my my kitchen toolkit for that because the peeler is ridiculous in that. I think I've got it here.
Oh, it's sharp.
It is
Yeah.
so sharp. Like if you touched it, it would stick to your finger. It's great. Okay, so that we're also going to add garlic. Look, it says 2 cloves of garlic, but you know, I mean.
You got to fight that flu. You got to fight
That's
it.
right. You do you,
Add
but
a
I'm
few
going to do
more.
me. There's about 4, and they were small. They were small, you know. I've got 2 spring onions here that I've chopped into thirds. You don't want them too long. So into thirds they go in. Also some ginger, so about a tablespoon of ginger, or maybe 2, actually, I think. Yeah, that'll do. Anyway, chuck it in. So we've got some parsley now, which is this one. Hang on, I have to sniff it. This one's parsley. So about 2 tablespoons of parsley. So we've got lots of nice greens and aromatics in there now. We want some turmeric. So you can use fresh or just like a teaspoon of, you know, your dry one, which I have here. And another little lovely thing we used to, like an Indian set that we used to have Thermomix. I'm not sure what you do have it anymore.
No,
I earned
we
that
do.
as well. I earned that as well. Sure. There's so many things, like all of these, you know, I'm just completely thermified over here. Okay, chili, coriander roots. I've done the garlic. Okay, so the chili, I've just got 1 red chili. Obviously, you cannot put that in if you'd rather not, but just wait till you see. So we're going to chop this up for 20 seconds on speed 10. Another really quick one.
Talk about packing a punch, like all the good things that you need when you're not well or in this weather, turmeric, you know, the garlic, all those amazing things just to help, you know, your immunity. I haven't tried this one. It is definitely on my list to do for next week. And it's really simple to put the recipe into the recipe community on your cookie dough. Super easy. Stay tuned. Next month, we'll be doing a lot of cookie dough sessions as well. So if you're unsure how to get the most out of cookie dough and why it is an amazing host reward for next month, join on one of our sessions and I will teach you the ins and outs of cookie dough because I'm literally obsessed as much as I am with my Thermomix. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I wish that there was
You
smell
could
of it.
smell it, yeah.
Because that is just sensational. So the next thing we're going to add is 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. So it is freezing in Melbourne. So my coconut oil is next level hard. I probably should have portioned it before, but anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it does actually, Smita. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil in there, and then I'm going to cook it for 2 minutes, Varoma speed 1. So we're just going to release some of the oils and get some of the aromatics coming through before we then, add the stock paste and that kind of stuff. So I need like a jackhammer.
I know, once it's stuck, it's hard.
It is.
You're doing well.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope I'm not sweating. Nasty. That's too cold to sweat, don't worry. Okay. So 2 minutes for Varoma speed 1. And you can see how easy this is, when you're doing it manually anyway. Left to right. Always go from left to right. And the temperature won't work if you don't set the timer. That's why we always do it that way. And that's another safety feature for you. So you can't just like turn the heat on and run away and then, I don't know, leave your Brazilian cheese puffs to burn. So you just
Who does that?
slip that in, right? But
funny story, I'll tell you later.
yeah. So there we go. 2 minutes. Varoma, which is, all the way to the end there. Speed 1. We're just going to, get all that nice and sauteed, if you like. And then we'll add the chicken. I also am using stock paste that's been made in the Thermomix. I have the chicken stock paste. This is just a little sample. It does actually make a big jar, like Maisie's, but this one's chicken. So in a lot of recipes, they ask, they might ask for vegetable stock paste or chicken stock paste. I will mix and match. Doesn't really, unless I'm like serving a vegetarian, obviously, but this recipe has got chicken in it and a lot of flavor. So I wanted a deeper kind of, chickeny flavor. So I'm using this. It's just like, it's so much cheaper to make by yourself. And the flavor, like, it's so much better. And it doesn't, when you buy some of the stock paste in the store, and yep, there is, yep. When you buy stock paste in the store, it's generally in some sort of jelly form. So, or it has that slight jelly edge to it. So that's indicating that it's got a lot of preservatives in it. It's got a lot of things in it that are helping it to stay for its shelf life, if you like. So yeah, you can do that. So you can actually spread this on a tray and you can put it into a dehydrator and make some powder as well. It's really quite versatile. I always like to tell people is when you get your Thermomix, the consultant comes over and we make a stock paste together. And at the end, once we put it in the jar, I always like to tell them to add a little bit of water to it and then just pour that into a jar. So you end up with some liquid and some. So that is, it's smelling so good. Ooh, and it's giving me a little bit of in the eye.
Yeah.
just a wee bit. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add some of that chicken stock paste to the bowl. So it's 2 tablespoons, I think, or 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon. Mine is not salt reduced. So, I should pay attention to how much I put in, but I'm not. Okay, that goes in. And then you want to put your chicken, so 2 to 4 chicken breasts. I imagine you can probably use thigh if you want to, but this is quite lean and nice, I guess. So we just chop that up into pieces, about 2 to 3 centimetre pieces. Pop that inside the bowl like that. And then we want to cover it with water. So we've used stock paste, but you could use liquid stock if you wanted. It's about 1 litre of water, but you want to make sure that that chicken is covered over so it gets nice and cooked evenly. Oh, done myself proud. I think the Thermomix farted there, but it wasn't me. Wasn't. Okay, so just the bubbles from the water. Anyway, so I'm going to put that lid on and then 20 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 2. And then we'll go to the next step, which is I think we're just mixing some more flavors through and that coriander that we saved before. And then we're done. So I will see you in 20 minutes, I imagine.
It's definitely taking the good old chicken soup to next level, like with that turmeric and the coriander.
Yeah.
Honestly, just so many flavors in there.
Yeah.
And a 20-minute cook is just what you need on a cold winter's night. Just a quick one after dinner. Definitely add it to your cookie dough. It is in the chat. Maisie's also added the stock paste and the stock powder, all that on the chat as well. So thank you,
Awesome.
Jen. I haven't done it. I really need to do it. And that's the thing with Recipe Community. There's so many recipes and I tend to just go to Cookie Do, but it's so great hearing from other consultants like Jen and go, oh, this one from Recipe Community is a winner. Definitely give it a go.
That's what, like, one of the things I love about the Recipe Community is that, you know, the ratings and the comments are visible, unlike with Cookie Do. So you can see what other people think, and, you know, like this one, word of mouth mostly, and it's a staple in our house. It's just so delicious. And it, like you said, on a night like tonight, it smells so good in here. It smells very comforting, and, you know, I'm loving myself.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jen.
You must give it a go.
Well, I will, because I think I had chicken. I've already menu planned next week. I think I put chicken and corn, but I think I might switch it for that. That sounds amazing. Thank you, Jen. We're going to go to Jess. Jess is here and ready to cook. Hi, Jess.
Hello.
Welcome. Kids in bed?
Yes, they are. So I'm hiding in my
did
pantry.
well.
So forgive me, please. I'm in quite a confined space.
This is life as a consultant. It does not matter what's happening at home, kids, no kids, you know, whatever. We all make it work. So if you've ever thought about joining, definitely come and join our team. We would love to have you on board. But this is a great chance for us to cook together, and like Jess, you know, we've got to put the kids to bed. We've still got to do all those other things. So all good. So Jess,
Yeah, sorry. I'm in a confined space, so please forgive me. I'm going to try and do this one-handed.
No, you're right,
yeah.
Jess.
So I will be making a Tuscan bean soup tonight. It's one I just found on Cookie Do, and it's been a hit for my husband and I. My kids, on the other hand, maybe a little bit fussy, but it's got all the goodness in it, and it just tastes like Italy. Okay, so I'm going to start. I'll see if I can. I don't know. Can you see what I'm doing here?
Hang on. Oh, sorry. I was just putting it into Thingo. I think you're.
I'll have to take my blur off. Okay.
You've got to take your blur off. Yeah, and then we're good
Sorry.
to go. So do you
right,
feel like
there
this is like
Don't
a
forget
minestrone vibe? Like a minestrone vibe?
Minestrone vibe, definitely. Okay.
Yeah, something
now,
different.
how do I get that? There we go. Okay. Can we see that now?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So in terms of this, I like to, here's a little tip I learned from somebody else. If you're looking at the preparation instructions, if you want to skip a step that you don't want to do, you just go to the next step and it will take you right there. So I thought that was a pretty handy tip. So I like to use Parmesan at the end, which I just grate myself because my husband doesn't really like the cheese in it. So it's just more for myself. So I'll just skip that step altogether. So I've got some rosemary and thyme, which I'm going to do 2 steps in the one go. So I'll just place that in the bowl there. And the thyme is already in there. And I'm going to mix that. Okay. Loud.
So remember with Cookie Do, it's just a guide. So if you don't like thyme or if you don't like an element, you can absolutely leave it out. Don't feel like you have to do it. It is just a guide. But they've been recipe tested that many times that they definitely have it all down pat.
I've also swapped some of the vegetables out. If I haven't had zucchini, I've added capsicum, and it's just as good. So yeah, if you don't like zucchini, definitely, please don't feel that you have to add it in there. You can just, pop something else in there. So I need to pop this. So I'm just going to pop this in a bowl. So it's just splits those. just blitz those up into little pieces. So it's pretty good. So I'm just doing this one-handed. It's pretty difficult. My ring light, I don't know. I think the kids have touched it, so it's kind of broken.
That's okay.
Oh, the kids get into everything, don't they? Okay, so I'm going to place the rest of the ingredients in here now. Please tell me if you cannot see anything, and I'll try
No,
and
all
see if I
good.
can fix it. I've got my 2 garlics. Why not? It's winter. Let's add garlic in there. And definitely, if you wanted to drop it down to 1, it would still taste just as good.
I was just typing in some of my favorite soups from Cookie Doo. The basic vegetable soup is literally so basic, but it browns it off in the TM6 and it just has a flavor like just next level flavor. So definitely look that up. That is, it is American one. So make sure your filters are open so that you can get access to that recipe.
Yep, definitely. There's some really good, I made some brownies the other day from the American. I took the filters off and I put American filter on, and oh, those brownies were delicious.
Well, the Americans know how to do a brownie, that's for sure.
Well, that's definitely for sure. So for me, I don't use pancetta. I like to use bacon, which is still just as delicious. So
yeah,
please, if you can use pancetta, you can use probably prosciutto, I would imagine. Anything really that's got a smoky kind of a flavor. So I'm just going to place that in there.
Or you can leave it out if you veggie. You just
That's
want it
true, you
meat-free.
can. That is also correct. All right, so we're going to cook this now. I know that this is definitely, yes, a very popular recipe. I make it at least once a fortnight. So that's going to cook for 10 minutes. So it's going to saute the bacon and the onion and the garlic and just fill the room up with a beautiful aroma. So that's going to take 10 minutes. So I don't know, Teresa, did you want to do?
We're going to go to Maisie. How are you going, Maisie? Oh, you're on mute, lovely. Oh, hang on, wait. You're on mute. Oh, wait. She can't hear me. There you go,
sorry.
Maisie. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, you're on mute.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought I was actually just plating up. So that's done. So basically after the 10 minutes cook, it just asks for cream and cream cheese or double cream, and then just blend the soup. But if you want a vegan option, you can use, or even dairy-free option. Just use, as I said before, the oat milk, and then just to boost the flavor, you can use some nutritional yeast flakes instead of cream, and that gives it a nice cheesy sort of flavor. Yeah, and then as a serving suggestion as well, I sauteed some mushrooms using the high heat function. So if you have a TM6 and you use a guided recipe, there is a high heat function that takes your temperature up to 160 degrees, and you can sizzle, mushrooms, vegetables, meat cubes, and really good for caramelization and hands-free. It takes a bit longer than stovetop, but it's hands-free and you only have the one bowl to pre-clean and wash. So that's great. But yeah.
Oh, that was great.
I'll show you the finished product later. So I was actually just plating up.
Oh, yes, no worries. Well, while Jess is still cooking, I was going to go through the Portuguese bread. So at the moment, it's all across Facebook and Instagram, and everyone is making the Portuguese bread. So it has been a bit of a favorite at our house. So I whipped this up yesterday because I thought I was actually going to cook it on in the class, but it's really basic and it's actually probably not a good one to show through class. So what you do is you add in your flour and some water and you let it sit for 40 minutes. And once that process is done, you add in your yeast and salt, And it basically does dough mode for 6 minutes. And that is it. 4 simple ingredients, and you get this bread. I know we love the sourdoughs. Maisie's a queen at it. Pearl's another queen at all the sourdoughs. Like, they make amazing bread, but I just don't have the patience on the starters. I just know that I won't get it right. So anything that does it, that I can try and get something similar without all that effort, this is my go-to. So really simple. You let it do its rising thing. It was coming out of my Thermomix yesterday, and then you just pop it on a tray, pop it in the oven, and that was it. And it was like 25-30 minutes. So this is an excellent side. Have a look at that bread just to whip up in your Thermomix, and it's super simple. But of course, any bread in the Thermomix is super simple. Focaccia is another go-to that I do with soups. I tend to make a focaccia every second time and just alternate what's on top of it, whether I put fresh tomatoes or even just salt, like a real easy go-to side as well. So if you just want to bulk up your meals. Another thing that I do to bulk up some soups, if I want to add extra protein, is if you've seen my Instagram, I love poaching and steaming that chicken breast in the Varoma, shredding it in the Thermomix, and I'll add that to everything. So the cauliflower and cheese soup, you can add some chicken there just to up the protein. You know, in the Tuscan soup, if you wanted to ditch the pancetta, add some chicken. It's just a great one just to throw into soup. So definitely consider all those other things that maybe Cookie Doo doesn't suggest, but you know, the more you get to play around with it, the more ideas you'll come up with. Cauliflower and cheese soup, highly recommend. Like Maisie, very basic, like with the mushroom one, but the flavor is delicious. Wonton soup as well, I love that as well in the Thermomix. Sarah suggested the hug in a mug. It is the ultimate classic. Maisie did it in our last class a few weeks, over a month ago now, and came with all these variations of it too.
Yeah, I use it as a pasta sauce as well. So just to stir through cooked spiral pasta, and that makes a meal that my kids will actually eat. And that's a great soup for hiding vegetables. Yeah.
Well, we love that. We love when it hides vegetables. So another few more ideas on some soups. Jess, how are you going? Jen, how are you going? Just seeing where we're, look at this hands-free cooking, guys. It's all doing its own thing. Jen's still going?
Yep,
I've got 4.
Yeah, I've got 7 minutes, so you'll be there first.
I can do the Brazilian cheese puffs.
Yeah,
It's
can you?
very
That would be great.
Yeah, okay. So another side dish you can do, which makes a great snack as well, is the Brazilian cheese puffs. Don't ask me how to pronounce it in Brazilian because I think I will kill the pronunciation. You go learn it actually. But yeah, this is on Cookie Doo. So again, guided. Just click cook recipe, and it starts with telling you to preheat your oven. So that's handy. And then grease a mini muffin mold, so 24-hole mini muffin pan. And then starts with blending your cheese. So I don't usually buy cube cheese, but you can most certainly do that purely because my kids just have sliced cheese. So I have sliced tasty cheese. Chuck that in. Oh, too much. So it asks for 70 grams.
And you can use any, like I tend to use whatever I've got in the fridge, any cheese I've got. Do you do the same, Maisie? Yeah, any cheese?
Any hard cheese that sort of melts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so just blend for 10 seconds on speed 9.
This is what I use for my Brazilian cheese stuff. You can get this at the mix shop. I swear by these silicone trays. I think that they are the best thing ever invented. I actually bought 2 of these so I can do a whole batch of Brazilian cheese puffs at once. So they just pop out, and they're the perfect mini size that you can pop them in with your cupcake pan. And then you pop them in there, throw them in the oven, and forget about them like I did today.
Yeah, so that was the blended cheese. And then the 160 grams of full cream milk. again, you can use any milk of your choice. I've done this with oat milk, and some of my customers say it actually tastes better with oat milk, or it
Oh,
comes
does
up.
it?
I don't know why, but and then now 60 grams of cooking oil. Essentially, this is a gluten-free recipe because it uses arrowroot starch or arrowroot flour. But you can interchange that with tapioca starch. And you can get that in Coles supermarkets.
Yep, it's cheaper in the Asian aisle.
Yeah, definitely Asian grocery.
Don't go in the health food. Yeah.
1 egg, and then toss in the tapioca starch. So don't worry if you can't get arrowroot. Definitely tapioca starch works. Yep. And then
literally $1 a bag or something in the Asian aisle. In the health food aisle, it's a ridiculous price. Don't go there. Definitely go to the Asian aisle. Oh, and Twitter says in the Indian stores as well.
Yeah. So now you're just going to blend it for 20 seconds on speed 8. Yeah, that's a bit noisy. So I'll blend it at speed 8 for 20 seconds. And then it will ask you to scrape down the bowl, blend it again, and then pour it into your molds as Teresa showed. Yeah, I've got 2 separate ones. Okay. Yeah, I just stopped the machine because I couldn't actually hear myself.
Yeah, so loud.
So, but it's that easy. It's just blending it. Maybe I'll just go through. This is just 20 seconds. So
yeah, go for it, Maisie. It is a dish that it's a snack that my kids absolutely obsess over, and my husband. I usually do a double batch, and you can always keep them in the cupcake tin, and I throw them in the fridge. So I'll do a double batch of them. Definitely scale it up, and then cook one batch, and then the next day I'm ready to go for the next ones. The kids will demolish like a whole tray each quite easily because they are so Moorish. Yeah, look at that batter. And I've had customers add things to it as well. So I've had a customer add, bacon, I think, in one, and oh, Jen's nodding her head.
Yeah, bacon, chives, like little corn pieces, chili flakes, like, yeah, go mad.
Yum. Chili flakes. I didn't think of chili flakes.
yeah, very well.
Let's bring back the puffs, guys. Everyone make them. Post it on Instagram. We're gonna bring back the Brazilian cheese puffs.
And grade them too. Rate them on Cookie Do. You can leave a rating. You can't leave a comment, but you can leave a rating. And the way that Cookie Do works is that when you look at recipes, it will show you the highest rated to the lowest. So that's the form that they're in when you look at every recipe in Cookie Do on your settings.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know that.
Let's get Brazilian cheese puffs.
Let's get Brazilian cheese puffs up there. I'm all for it.
So just pour it into your molds to 3/4 full, and then bake it in the oven for it says 12 to 15 minutes, but my oven it takes about 17 minutes, and then what you get is this.
Oh, balls of goodness, guys. Balls of goodness.
And then it's like nice and cheesy.
Oh, cheesy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I say for the kids, but I can eat a whole tray too quite easily.
So
they're delicious.
Got everything ready to go. That's the mushroom soup and the Brazilian cheese puffs.
That's beautiful, Maisie.
And the sauteed mushrooms. So, and everything's just on Cookie Do. So try it.
Love it. Thank you so much, Maisie. I'm going to try the soup. I definitely with that. Your cheese puffs look amazing. Jen's funny story that she mentioned before about it was that I did make cheese puffs for the kids for after school snack before swimming tonight, and went to school pick up because it's not a Thermomix and it doesn't beep at me, the oven. I forgot about them and left them in there for 45 minutes. So I can say that they didn't burn the house down, but it wasn't great. So yeah, we all need Thermomixes. Forget about the oven, guys. But yeah, no, they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful to have. Yeah, Maisie, that looked amazing. Delicious. Jess, how are you going?
Good. I've kind of skipped a few steps just to probably help with a bit of timing. So
Yeah, that's all right.
I've added my celery, my 2 celery sticks, my 1 carrot, my zucchini, and I've added my tomatoes. I'm about to add the beans. So it asks for 400 grams of chickpeas, 400 grams of red kidney beans, and 400 grams of the cannelli beans. So I've
Yeah.
just rinsed them all prior, and I've just got them all in here. So I'll just add them to the bowl with the rest of the ingredients. This is probably why my kids don't like it, because it's got beautiful goodness in it, but they don't
Yeah.
think that's goodness, right?
Every kid feels the same. Don't worry.
And I'm just going to add, so it's asking for some water. So basically it's just tomato, a can of tomatoes, water and beans, and then it just cooks in itself, really. So it's amazing. Pretty easy. You can walk away and do whatever you need to do while you're getting the kids ready.
And what's the serving like, Jess? You get enough, obviously,
Oh.
for you and Harvey, and leftovers?
I get a lot of leftovers. So I'll end up eating this tomorrow night, and it'll be for lunch tomorrow at work. And I've always got plenty of leftovers. It's
So,
very
yeah.
very large serving. And I also have to use my stock paste, which is vegetable stock paste, which is made in the Thermomix. So it's definitely a good good recipe to have in your fridge there.
So if you haven't made your stock paste, tomorrow morning, everyone, make your stock paste, because you will need it for pretty much every single recipe, especially your soups in your Thermomix. And when it's that easy, can't go wrong. Thank you, Jess. So that's going to cook for another, how long is it?
Probably another 20 minutes. So that's
another
fine.
20 minutes. So even if the class is finished, what I'll do is I'll get the girls to put in their Instagram names, tags, or Facebook, so that you can follow them and check them out, and also see their final cook-up, because I'm sure everyone will post as well. So you can see the final cook-up. We've seen Maisie's, but Jess's is going to take a bit longer. And we're going to jump to Jen for her final bit of her cook.
Yep. And so it's finished cooking the chicken, but what we want to do now is just check it to make sure that all the chicken's cooked through. But I wanted to show you what happens with this soup, which makes it really full of flavor. I'm going to try this. So hopefully you can see. But
yum.
So what happens is all of that flavor, that beautiful paste that we made in the stock, it comes up through and cooks through the chicken. So, remember we just poured water over it before, but all of that beautiful flavor comes up and cooks the chicken, which is superb. But then we want to put that chicken into the bowl with the rest of it. So your spatula, if you don't already know, has got this handy little hook. So we pop that in there. And what you can do, if you were needing to have that drain, you could just rest it like that, and that drains it, which is fabulous. But I'm just going to pour it in. What I love about all of the bits of the Thermomix is that they all go together beautifully. They all have a multi-purpose, and I love that. Okay, so that's done. Now we're going to add the coriander that we chopped earlier. So that's going in. Beautiful. Smells amazing, guys.
It looks good in that black.
Yes, right. It's perfect offsetting color. I've got the juice of the lemon that we had earlier. So now we're gonna, mix up those flavors a bit. I've got a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of miso, or 1 tablespoon, sorry, of miso paste. You can get that. Yeah, from the supermarket easily enough. That's optional too. You don't have to put that in, but it gives it a really amazing, it's already a great broth, but it just increases that amazing flavor. And here I've got 3 tablespoons of tamari. You can use soy sauce, but I would use a light soy sauce if you're going to put that in instead. And then you want 30 grams of mirin. Mirin is actually optional as well. So, but I have it. I'll show you the thing just in case you don't know what it is. Literally mirin. All right, so that's all in. And then we're just going to mix it for 20 seconds just to get all that goodness in. Actually, I lied, 10 seconds. even better. And on reverse. So if I'm doing it manually, the third wheel here, if you like, there's a picture of the blade. So I'm going to press that so it's on reverse. And I am going to do this for 10 seconds, reverse speed 1, just mixing that all through. And then I'll show you the fun way that we put it all together.
I'm so intrigued by this soup. I'm going to make it because
It's so
I
good.
just think all those flavors.
Yeah. Okay. So on my glider board here, I'm just going to glide my baby over. There you go. Now, I've got my bowl here. Can you see my bowl? Yep. So
Yeah.
I've put some spinach in there. You can use kale if you like, but I've just got a bit of spinach in there. And then what you want to do, and that's raw, obviously. So you want to give this, just make sure that you've got like, don't just pour it straight out because you want like the chicken to be evenly distributed for whoever's going to eat it. So I'm just, oh, so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. You wish you were at my house for soup.
I do. I'm very jealous. I want a bit of mushroom soup and I want a
I
bit of
know.
everything.
Okay.
Yum.
So, all right, that looks amazing, but you can always look better. So I'm just going to put some coriander on top. And then I've got some of that sliced red chili to just pop over the top there so it looks fabulous. Try not to stick my fingers in my eye later.
Oh, delicious.
Oh, did you see my shirt go in it then? Don't need that. There, look.
Yum. Delish.
So there you go.
That looks so good. Looks
How
very
good is it?
Very, very good for you. Very excellent for this weather. Excellent for when you're not feeling the best. My daughter actually, whenever she's not feeling great, she's like, Mum, can you make that chicken soup, please? You know, the flu fighting one. So it is a big hit in this house. It's got packed full of flavour. So give it a try.
Fantastic. Maisie, have you tried that one before?
No, but yeah, I'm definitely going to try that because it has a lot of really good ingredients for you. Yep.
Really good ingredients for you. So that is our class tonight. Jess is going to cook away because she's still got 20 minutes, but that's fine because just girls, if you get a chance, just pop in your Instagrams or your Facebook where to find you on the chat for me, if that's okay, just so everyone can find it. Thank you so much to Jen and Maisie and Jess for taking the time tonight to do this. I really appreciate it. It's just a great opportunity for us to get together and also share some ideas. Like, I've never cooked any of those 3 soups, and I know they will definitely be on my list. So thank you so much to them for doing it. Thank you guys for coming and joining our class. We'll keep you in what's happening next month. So we're going to have a bit of cookie do focus. So if you definitely want to get your hands on that cookie do host reward, touch base with your consultant. Your demo can be virtually as well. And it's a great way to get that as a great host reward and share the Thermomix with your friends because God knows they all need one. Everyone needs a Thermomix. So I'm sure there's someone that you know that definitely needs a Thermomix on their bench. Thank you everyone for coming and we will see you soon. Chat with your consultant if you have any questions at all. Thanks you everyone for coming. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I need that music just to. Thank you, Smita. Just gonna.
It looks amazing.
Oh, your soup? Seriously?
Yeah, don't you? And I'm not joking. Like we make this shit all the time.